Hey, hello all of you. Welcome all of you to Data Platform Summit 2021, and I am excited to be speaker at Data Platform Summit, and I hope you will love the session presented by great speakers. My name is Balram Prasad and I am working with Microsoft as a senior software engineer. I am also Microsoft certified solution architect for cloud and data. Today I'm going to talk about Azure Data Services and Azure Synapse Analytics. This will be introductory session which will include PPT where we will talk about some of the services provided in Azure Data Service and also basic demo about Azure Synapse Analytics. We will create Synapse Workspace. We will create some of the pools provided by Azure Synapse Analytics, and also we will write some of the SQL script and then notebooks, and we will run that all and see how it works. So I hope you will like this session. After this session also I am going to connect with you, talk with you. I am going to take questions with you, and then we will also please provide me feedback. You can also connect me on my LinkedIn profile, my Twitter profile, and then we can talk more about these services if you like to know about more. So I hope you will like this session. Let's start this session. So what are Azure Data Services? As we all know that data underpins everything. It fuels the modern internet, and without it there is no application. Nowadays every application takes some of the data from user input or by other means, and this constant and ever increasing hunger for data means there is more and more of it, right? Previously there was data stored in megabyte and gigabytes. Nowadays we have data in terabyte and petabyte. So now when we have more and more of data, there is a need, there is a business need for a solution which can give businesses help with data in a more efficient and more effective manner. And that is where this Azure Data Services comes into picture. It provides a full end-to-end services that covers every aspect of data lifecycle which we need, either for ingestion purpose, either for a store purpose, either variety of different type of store, or either real-time data, or either insight, or either visualization. Every aspect of the data lifecycle, Microsoft Azure Data Services provides some or other capabilities over there, some of the other services over there. Either if you need a RDB-based data, you can choose Azure SQL, which is hyperscale database. You do not have to manage any infra over there. If you want an open source alternative, you can go for MySQL, you can go for PostgreSQL. If you need any NoSQL related data and you are thinking about scalability, then you can go for Azure Cosmos, which is globally distributed multimodal databases and which supports different API and different file format. So, and it is scalable and critical. You can move your critical application without worrying about infrastructure and scalability part and capacity part. So Azure Data Services is an excellent choice for data related technology where you have data into different scenario. You can pick any of other services from Azure Data Services. So we are going to see some of the services and we are going to talk few more things about these services, and then we will move on that one. So when we are talking about data life cycle, what are the different data life cycles generally we have? We have ingestion. In ingestion, application is collecting some of the data from users or app events and writing some of the place or sending somewhere to keep that one. Either they are calling in API or either they are calling into batch services to put into storage, right? We have stored, and stored when data has been come by different way, either batch or API or somewhere we have to store, right? And that the data comes into many different sizes, right? Different shape and sizes. It can be relational database, it can be file, it can be NoSQL related things, right? So we have to see that which kind of store we have needed, right? And then we have to process it, and then we have to analyze it, right? So process analysis is one of the part. Then we have to find some actionable information, and then we have to visualize that one, so that people and colleague or leaders can take action on that one. So that is another aspect of the life cycle. So these are the four major life cycle of data life cycle we have seen, and we are going to talk about that what Azure services are in this area of the things which we can leverage and we can choose from based on our different scenarios. We are going to see about that one. So when we talk about data, what are the different type of data store supported by Azure, right? We have relational store where data is kept into rows and columns, right? We have key value pairs where there is a key and associated value in other format, any format are kept, either it is JSON format or it is plain text format, or we can keep that way. We have document databases where we keep the data in document, and generally if we break down that one, it is going to be multiple record into relational data stored. We have GraphDB where we are keeping the data into node and edges format so that we can traverse the data, right? We have column family databases. It seems in first instance that it is row and column based database, but when we try to access that one, we keep into such a way that it will be faster than relational database. So we have object storage where we keep our data into file format, like we have MP4, we have graphics related things, we have JPEG, we have MPEG, this kind of files we keep, right? We also keep the file into for sharing purpose, that is shared file, network shared files we have. This is same as object storage, but it has support for you need to access on a network protocol, so that is there. We have search engine related database, so this kind of data storage is supported by Azure, and these are the some of the type. There are more types, but I have listed few only for discussion purpose. So let's move ahead. So if you see that what are the store technology and stored Azure data store services which we have into umbrella, we have Azure SQL. Azure SQL is the relational database which is hyperscale and fully platform as a service. We do not need to think about any managing any infra, anything about that one. If we need anything about NoSQL and globally distributed database, we have Cosmos, which is, as we spoke, that this is globally distributed database, and it supports wide variety of formats also, and API also. We can have a SQL server on VM also, that option is also present over there. If we do not want to manage our infra and we do not need that access on OS level, then we can use Azure SQL managed instance also. For open source alternative, we have Azure database for MySQL, we have PostgreSQL databases, we have MariaDB, we have support for Cassandra. So from open source perspective also we are good over there. For application logic, we have a service called App Inside. For in-memory databases, for caching related thing in application, we have Redis cache. For network file share protocol, we have Azure Data Share. And we have Azure SQL warehouse for warehousing related thing, and it is going to be it is kind of now integrated with Azure Synapse Analytics, so we can go and we will see that one. And we have, if we have storage in petabyte and terabyte of data, we have Azure Data Lake and Azure Files where we can leverage that systems for that one. So we were talking about data life cycle in ingestion. What are the different things we can leverage? What are the different services which we have right now for integration ingestion purpose? So we can use the data factory. Data services, data factory is a service which gives opportunity to ingest data from one source and move to another source. And also we can have lot of in transformation of data. It also orchestrate and connect to different services for transformation purpose. So we can do that. We have Kafka from open source world, where we need to stream some of the data. If we need any scenario for IoT, we have IoT hub. If we need any eventing related thing, we have event hub. And we have web apps where we can connect with web apps and App Insight to log user data and user events for that purpose. So that kind of some of the data services is used for data ingestion purpose. When data ingestion is done, how to transform the data, or how we can process the data using some of the compute services. We have Azure Data Services. We have Synapse Analytics, which is now we are going to talk. We have Azure Stream Analytics. We can plug into either Event Hub, Kafka, and we can process the stream data on that one. We have Function app, which is fully serverless application. We can connect some of the things and we can do quick on that one. We have Azure Automation, and Azure Batch is also being used on some scenarios. So we can see that one also. So these are some of the compute services we can leverage for our need in data lifecycle. Now on the visualization part, we have Power BI, where we can plug and visualize all the things. We have Data Explorer, where we can explore the different type of data. We have Analysis Service, where we can build cube and other things. So now if we think about what are the different services which we have from open source perspective. So we have Azure Database for MySQL. We have Azure Database for PostgreSQL. We have MariaDB on Azure. We have managed instance for Cassandra. We have Azure Databricks services over there. We have Hadoop, and we have Kafka. We have support for HBase. So from open source perspective also, Azure is supporting a wide range of services. So there is if you need any services, most and foremost you are going to find it in Azure. Now moving to Azure Synapse Analytics. What is that one? So Azure Synapse is a enterprise analytical store that is accelerating our time to ingest the data and insight, getting the insights. That is cutting all the time, and it is bringing the good thing about from data warehousing and big data technology and based of SQL technology. Also it is bringing in one place. You can have Spark Pool. We can have Azure Apache Spark Pool. And we are going to use Gen 2 or Gen 1, where we have our data or which place we have ingestion in the place on the same service. So we can leverage the ingestion related technology also, where we can connect for Azure Purview for data governance. We can connect to Azure machine learning services. For visualization purpose, we have connectivity with Azure Power BI. So it is a service which is going to touch about all the data life cycle which we talked. And previously, if you have to do some ingestion, you have to go for suppose you have to choose, and you choose that data factory. Then for processing, you have to choose a different compute services, visualization different services, and you have to go to different purpose places and create that resources and use that one. And from here you can go in single place, single service, single studio, and you can do all operations. So that is a great thing over here. And using this one, if people are familiar with Azure SQL world, then they can work. If they are familiar with the Spark world, they can also work. If they are working on data integration part, they can work. If they are working on the transformation part, they can work. So that all the people from different role can come and they can work from here itself. So that is a great technology is coming to that one. And we are going to see, and we are going to create Azure Synapse Analytics, and we are going to see some of the resources inside that one, how we can do that one. So as we spoke about too many services in that Azure data services, right? How we are going to pick some of the things if we need. So these are the some use cases which generally happens, that if we need any relational database where we do not have to manage and we do not want to manage our compute and infrastructure, then we can pick Azure databases. If we need something on OS level or something, that okay, we have to run any job or we have to customize, we can install SQL server on virtual machine. But we do not need that OS level security, and we do not want to go into password fully. If just we want to lift and shift and we want to support compatibility, then we can go for Azure SQL managed instance, right? If we need anything from open source world, depending upon our need, that if we were using that MySQL community or PostgreSQL, we can choose that option also. As we spoke about that one, if we want to build some application which is globally, which we want to be globally available, and we want to be low latency transactions and other things, we can go for Azure Cosmos DB. That is a great great service to have. If we are building some web application or some other application where we need some of the in caching or in memory data store, we can go for Redis cache. So these are the some use cases where we can pick which service which is going to be used when we are designing a system. If I have to pick anything, this sample flow chart helps a bit for me, that if you want to pick any data services, then what is you need, right? You need either you need any compatible format, then depending upon which format you are looking for, you can go for MySQL, you can go for Postgre, MariaDB, as we talked about that one. If we need relational database, we can go for SQL database. If we need something on semi-structured and on-read, we can go for Cosmos and SQL API. If we need SMB interfaces, then we can go for Azure Files, right? If we want to archive something, then we can access the blob storage with cool access tier, then we can go for that one. If we are dealing with some of the search related database, search index thing, then we can go for Azure Search. If we are dealing with some time series data, we can go for time series inside. If we have large data like terabyte, petabyte for analysis purpose, we can store into data lake and or blob storage and bring Synapse Analytics or Databricks and Azure Analytics service and do the analysis on that one, right? So these are the some of the flow we use generally. If we have graph database, we can go for Cosmos DB with graph API, right? If we have transient data, then we can go for either Azure Cache for Redis, and we can go for Cosmos DB SQL API also. Depending upon scenario, what we required, we can go for that one. This is the same thing where we have that which of the scenario we need that relational database, which kind of data model is there. Do we need hybrid mode or not? Do we need serverless compute or not? Do we need only storage out or not, only compute out, scale out or not? So these are the some of the things helps to decide a service which we are going to pick for our use cases. The other scenario is that this is managed service or not, SQL language support is there or not, it is optimized for speed serving layer or not, right? These are the some of the things we generally think about when we are going to pick up the service, any service on that one. Apart from that one, how much scalable that service is, that the service has capability for redundant regional server for high availability or not, does it support query scale feature or not, does it support scale up or dynamic scalability or not, right? Does it have support for in-memory caching of data or not? So these are few things we also consider when we are picking a new service. When we pick any service, we mostly check about security also, that what type of security this service is providing. Either service is providing authentication with SQL, Azure integration with Azure AD or not. that service is providing encryption on REST or not. That service is providing row level security or not. What are the different type of firewall it supports. Does the service is supporting dynamic data masking or not. So this kind of things also we generally think about when picking the service for security purpose. So this was that on the PPT side. Now we are going to have a Synapse demo where I'm going to create a Synapse from Azure Portal, and we are going to log inside Synapse Studio. We are going to create a Spark pool. We are going to create dedicated pool, and we are going to see different options over there. So let's go over there in Azure Portal. For demo purpose, we are going to using the Azure Portal. If you have any account, then you can create all the service required. If not, then you can create a Azure free account. And in the free account, Azure is providing popular service for 12-month free and 25 plus other services free always. Along with that, Azure is providing $200 Azure credit, which we have to use in 30 days. So that should be enough for doing all this, checking up the services and what Azure is providing. I have Azure subscription, and I have created a resource group where I am going to create all the resources required for this demo. And resource group is a logical container where we generally put our resources based on either environment or based on component and how we want to group our resources. That is what we do. So my resource group is DPS 2021, and I have created that into West US 2 right now, and I am going to create Azure Synapse Analytics over here. So before going to create Azure Synapse Analytics, if we talk about that what are the different services we talked about. If we go to databases section, you can see all of the services, like you can see Azure Managed Instance, you can see Azure SQL databases, Cosmos, Postgre, MySQL. You can create that one and you can see that one. And apart from that one, if you go to compute section, we can see that one, the different function apps we have to create and other things we can see. If we go for integration related other things, then we can see Q and other thing, data factory we have talked about, that we can see. And if we go for analytics, there are different solutions where we have Azure Synapse Analytics, and also we have analysis service, which we are not going to use that one. For Synapse Analytics, we can search all the services with here also. Azure Synapse Analytics we can find over there. And if we go and create that one, so we need to have a subscription, we need to have a resource group. We can create new from here also, or either pre-create that one. And it also creates and manage resource group. We will see why when we will create a Spark pool and other things. It needs a managed resource group where it will keep all the inside virtual machine and machine nodes and other things which will use for a Spark related thing. That is when that managed resource group will be created by Synapse. So we can put the name also, or it will be used the default name. So we can give the name of Synapse. Let's put this name, and I'm going to choose about West US 2 only. And when we create Azure Synapse, we have to provide a Gen 2 account, a storage account. Either we can create new also, we can choose existing also. Right now we are going to create one new. So let me create quickly with the name of that storage. And then once we create that storage account, we have to provide a file system name. File system is generally a container where we have to do that one. So I am going to provide that name. And once it will create all this, and it will assign this all the role required for accessing that one. So it will do all of the things. We can go in security tab, and where we can pick put whatever admin user and password we have to put for connecting from program, or connecting via different Power BI, or from SQL Server Management Studio, which we are going to see. We can give the password over here to connect that one. We can do later also, and we will see later also on that one. And apart from that one, we can give our managed key for encryption purpose and other things, but let me keep the same thing for now. In networking tab, we can enable managed virtual network, and either we can set that up if we want to put into use some private link and private networking, then we can enable that one. And then we can go put some tagging if we need to do tagging based on, if we want to see that based on tagging, like which like environment tag, or if you want to put that for component names, component IDs, or if you want to see in the billing section that how much billing this component is taking, so we can put that way. Now I'm going to review that one. And then because serverless, when we create Azure Synapse Analytics, it will create a serverless pool, and it is going to charge like this one per terabyte. The costing will be there. So I'm going to right now create by default everything and then see. So we can export this one. We can deploy this service with ARM also. We can deploy this service with Bicep also. So all this programmatic way we can do with PowerShell also. So, but right now we are going to use this way. It will take some time and then we will come. Okay, so our resource has been created. If we go into details of the resource creation, then we can see that the storage account has been created, and also we can see that whatever file system name we have given, that is container, has been created. Microsoft Synapse Workspace on the top, it has been created. Then it has managed identity for SQL Server has enabled. Then configure the firewall rules so that we can access on that one. Let's go to resource group quickly. We can see that now one storage account has been created and even Synapse Workspace has been created. If we go inside this one, we can see that one there is a container which we name given as a file system. That container is available. And also all of the things we can see that this is data lake gen 2 is that one I enabled, and details are there for whatever version we have selected on that details. So let's go back to our Synapse one, and if we go into Synapse one, we can see right now only one SQL pool which is built in, which we talked about that it gives in when we built a provision a Synapse Studio, it also creates a serverless one. So that is there. When we will create other pools like a Spark pool and dedicated pool, also it will be listed here. We can have dedicated pool from here as an option, and we can have a Spark pool from here also. There is a different pool, a scope pool also there, and more few more pools might be coming. So that is there, and we can do all of the settings from manage identity from here, or encryption, which type of encryption is there, enable if we want to enable private win point and other things, we can do all of the things from here. So let's go inside Synapse Workspace. I'm opening the Synapse Workspace. Synapse Workspace is where we are going to spend most of the time, and that is where when we go to home page, this is the home page where we see lot of things, and we are going to do some of the things from here. So there are few menus. Home, data section is there, develop, integrate, monitor, and manage section is there. So in home section, we can see that some of the things we can do. That we can do is either we can write a SQL script, notebook, and data flow, all these things, which will go in different section and where we can do that one. And also we can do ingestion and then exploration, connecting to Power BI. And the interesting part that we can go for knowledge center from here, that if we click knowledge center, there are 3 options right now that we can use sample immediately. There are a lot of samples provided, and we will go in to use that one. There are gallery which we can leverage that one, and we will go and see that what it contains, and we will go and use that some of the feature and some of the samples from there. And we can see that how to tour that one, that okay, this is that recent code artifact, common video and documentation, which is on home page. If we go into that one, that data section where we are going to browse database, data sets, storage account which is linked as a linked service, we can browse all of the things. If we go to develop section, as a developer we are going to invest more time over there, that we can create, browse or code artifacts, we can write SQL script, we can write notebooks in different languages, and we can do a lot of things. In integrate section, we can create pipelines for integration purpose or ingestion purpose, whatever we want, that we can do. This is that Azure Data Factory integration. From here we can do that one. In monitor section, we can see all of the things. So this is one studio where as administrator will come, or your team will come for checking that what is the status for different jobs, what is happening inside and other things. And developer also comes to develop the application, so that we can see. And from manage section, the admin or team can manage that, create new pools, connecting with external sources such as Power BI or Azure Purview and other things. They can connect. Or most importantly, we can go and check that one in manage section, that there is a Git integration. If we have to connect with Git and then work on with that one, then we can do that one. Synapse provide two options, that Synapse Live mode, and we can work with code repo also. If we work with code repo, then we can have CI CD and all this PR. We can create the PR from here. We can review the code and other things from all the places. So we can see, we will if we want to do that one, we can connect that one. We can have, if we are using a Spark pool, if we wanted to have any different packages, custom packages, we can upload that one, so that Spark can leverage that packages from there. So that management we can do it from here. In the top, if we go into a SQL pool, as we talk about that one, there are two pools into SQL. One is built-in pool, which is serverless, and it will be created default when we create Synapse Workspace, and it is charged based on whatever query we write and how much query it is running and how much data transfer is happening. So that is pay per use concept. And one more pool we can create, that will be dedicated pool, where we can say that how much performance level we want to configure, and then depending upon our scenario, and that we can do. So right now, if you go and we create that one, let's try to create one. So depending upon performance level we need, we can do that one. And right now I'm going with very less one, depending upon cost and other things. So let's go with this one, DW, and data warehousing, charge based on data warehousing on that one. So we can go with that one. And in additional setting, that if we want to import any backup or store point from different workspaces, if I have a lot of workspace on that one, I can do, I can restore from that one also. And we can do tagging for the purpose of billing, and then I can go and review and create that one. So let me review and create that one, so that we can see this one. Okay, till that time it is happening, and it takes some time. We can go for Apache Spark pool, and a Spark pool is also there, that we can create a new pool. If we go and create a new pool over there, we have to give the name same way, that, and then we have to say that which type of isolated compute or not, for performance and other things. We can see that one. And then which type of node side family, memory optimized or not, which is the size, small or medium. So let's go with medium right now, and I'm not going with 5. Let's go with 5 only, or yeah, let's go with maybe 10. Let's see that one, 8. Let's go with 8 node right now. And let's see, in additional setting, that we can have that, which see that one, that which version of Apache Spark it is being used, which version of Python it is being used. If you want to change that Spark version and select the preview version, we can do that one. Which kind of Java version is there, what is the .NET Core version, all these settings we can see. If we wanted to upload any custom Spark configuration, we can do from here. We can upload any configuration over there, or additional packages which we want to install on our Spark pool, that also we can do from here. And tagging, we can put tagging for that billing purpose and other purposes, we can do tagging. Now let's go and review and create that one. So it will also take some time to create that one. It is deploying that right now. So let's go and see. Till the time let's go to linked services, where we can connect with different external sources for whatever need is there. If we want to connect with other sources, external sources, in some cases if you have some data which you want to bring from Redshift, then you can also do that one. Amazon S3 we can do, or if you want to connect for machine learning purpose, cognitive services for playing it out with text analytics or sentiment analysis, then you can go and say that, okay, hey, I want to connect with that one. What is my service name? Either from subscription, it will list all that one, whatever is there, or it will go from manually also. We can put that details upon cognitive services or not. If we want to, so as we talked about that, when we created Azure Synapse Analytics, we given a data like Gen 2 account, that is our primary account. If we want to connect with different Gen 2 accounts, we can go ahead and say that one, that okay, I want to connect with whatever URL we want to give that one, and which kind of authentication method it will use. Either we can go for account key, service principal, managed identity, or credential, where we can have service principal plus we can put over there service principal and keys and other things we can give over there. So that way also different services depending upon need we can go and connect, and that one, if you want to connect one Synapse Analytics with another Synapse Analytics, that is also possible. We can do that way also. So this is, you want to connect with Google BigQuery and other things, that lot of external sources are being connected. Either you want to ingest data from one source to another source, or either do any operations like machine learning, pull out data, push out data, all this we can play it out from here itself. We do not have to go into another service of Azure for doing same thing. This is one interesting, that Azure Purview. Azure Purview is new service in Azure Data World, where we can register all of the data inside our organization, and then that can be leveraged for discovery purpose. We can connect our Synapse Analytics instance with Purview account, and our data engineer and data teams can discover that whatever data sources, data entities or data set present in organization, and also the governance can happen from that purpose. So that is a good tool to have, and we can integrate for discovery purpose and exploration purpose, and then how to reach out to people who are the owner of data, and then we can do all of the operations from here. This is the integration tab. There are integrate tab where we are going to have pipelines for that orchestration purpose, either ingestion purpose or either transformation purpose. We can trigger that one based on schedule. That also we can do. We can configure the runtime, that where and which network it will run. All this we can do, and then finally we can do that access management and other things from Synapse Workspace Studio, that which team member will get what role, and we can give all this role based on requirement, and we can connect with that one. So this is that manage tab. Let's go to data tab, where we can see that in the data tab we can see what databases we have into our Synapse Workspace. Right now I just created one dedicated pool one, so that is there. There is nothing on that one. That will be all open, blank. Let's see that one. I just explored that one. So there is nothing. And then in second tab we can see that which linked service we have connected. So right now we have only one linked service, and that is called primary. And now whatever we will connect, that will be secondary. So we will see that one by connecting some of the data over there. So if we go to home tab, and if we start that going with knowledge center, let's go with knowledge center first, and let's pull some of the samples from gallery. So if we click the gallery, you can connect any data set which is open. There are sample data sets which we can use for our POC purpose or demo purpose or learning purpose. We can do that one. There are some sample notebooks also present for different scenarios, different use cases, and we can leverage that one for a startup and starting up. There are some code and some script for SQL also, and that is good to have, that how we are going to access that dynamic data masking, or how we can create external table, and all these details are there. So we can leverage some of the sample from there. and pipeline also, that how you are going to fetch data from one source to another source. In the same case, if we might have some data into your data is into different places, like suppose you have data into S3 and you want to move to Azure Data Lake Gen 2, then you can do that one. Or you can do Park CRUD operations for transformation purpose. You also can do the different thing we can do on based on that one. So SQL order to Cosmos DB you can use and move on that one. So all this you can connect with all this source and destination. You can have transformation logic in between, and you can do all of the things over there. So we will see, we will try to have one sample pipeline over there, and we will see. Let's go and see that one. If we want to connect with Bing COVID-19 data set, what it says that one. So if we go into this one, this is the open data set, and if we see this one, this is that location where this is blob storage where all this COVID related data is kept, and this is open data set, and this is being updated daily. So if we want to add this one, let's click on that one, and now it is just adding this one because there is no security and that is open data set, so it is easy to connect. Now if you see our data section, this is not primary, this is secondary now connected blob storage, and as soon as we are going to connect like this one multiple, it is going to connect. So basically if we go into a linked section also, and if you see that one more linked service has been created, and data section also we can see that one, we can explore that one more on the details that what is there. We will go into see and more details on that one, and because we created a Spark pool, let's see that one. There is a Spark pool now created on that one, SQL pool, SQL dedicated pool, and a Spark pool also has been created. So now let's go back here and then see that one, that once we add that one, we can save some time by using menu, whatever menu option has been provided. So if we want to see that one, what is the top 100 records on that Bing whatever data set we mounted, we can just generate query, and it will use this query to fetch the data from whatever source we have given, and the data source in Parquet format. And this is SQL pool, SQL dedicated SQL built-in pool. So that is interesting to see that we are able to fetch Parquet data from a blob using SQL command, and it is very easy to have. So let's see that when I just run that command and see what is happening over here. So quickly we are able to see our data, that okay, this is the data on that one, that okay, how much dates had been done, how much confirmed change and has been done, whatever we can see, that which region and other things we can quickly see that one. We can change that name of that SQL script, and we can publish also, so that if we want to save this one, publish means saving it here right now, and we will see that one later. If we refresh, it will not go out. So that is what it is doing right now. And there's another way that if we want to create any external table based on that one, also it can generate that one external table, and we can do that way. So let's go a little bit later on the external table part. Let's go with new notebook, and I just wanted to load this data into data frame, and then I wanted to see this one. So if you see this one, that this notebook has been created, and this notebook into Python, and I can attach with this notebook with whatever Spark pool I have created, and I can quickly run this one. So let's run this one and then see that one, that what is happening. So it will run it will take some time because it is starting up a Apache Spark session, and then it will connect this notebook with session and Apache Spark and running that one first time. So let's wait for that one. So our job execution has succeeded. So if you see that one, the details is coming, that how that job has performed and what are the different stages into Spark, and we can see the details, and we can see the data is that whatever we have asked for that one, the data is coming. So how easy it is. If you see that code, it is just we are passing the blob and container name, and then what is the path for that one, what is the protocol and other things, and we are setting the Spark configurations, and then we are just reading a spark.read.parquet file, and then we are displaying that one. So it is so easy that we do not have to go any places. It is managed all, and we can do a lot of different places. If we click on that one, view in monitoring, we can quickly go into this tab in monitor from here itself, and we can see what is happening on input data, how much data it came and how much data was output, and other details. We can see the details on export, that one, and we can see that more on the driver logs or Libby logs or different thing. We can go and see that one if something is failing. If I once again go to back to our develop tab, and if I want to see that things into Spark UI, I can click on that one and I can go details on a Spark UI also, and I can drill deeper on the Spark UI and see that what is happening on that one. So that also we can do. Either we can go from monitor section also, where we can see that one, that how much request we have sent. We have sent only one request to our SQL pool, and then we have run something on a Spark, so it is running, and we have all this into that one. So that place we can go and see that one. Similar to when we will write data flow activity, we can go and see that one with a scope job and other things, and whenever pipeline and other things runs, it will see all this from monitoring purpose over there. So this was one simple notebook. Let me keep that name. Okay, so let me publish to save this one. Let's go back once again to our data section, and let's see what we can do more. Or let's go back to home section, and we can go to once again knowledge center, and we can go to browse. So we used via data this one, the data set section. Let's go into notebook section and see if we can do anything. So it says that we can do using this thing. We can pick something and some other things and do that one. So if we pick that one, that let's see that one, this is Scala code. So there are we can find that one, it is based on a Spark SQL or PySQL or Scala, Spark.net and other thing, and then based on our requirement we can pick that one. So let's pick that one, create an unmanaged Spark table. What is that does? So let's go into that one. If we see this one, it will generate in notebook, where that code will be there, that okay, this create table and other things, we can do all these things from here. We will insert everything in that one, and it will run that one. So if we want to run that one quickly, let's go into this one, and we can attach this one with our pools, and we can quickly run that one. Let's try to run this one. So this is a Spark SQL, and it is written on Scala code. So and it is using that. Let's create a table, and the name and population will be to column using Parquet, and this is the location, and is using that one. And then once it is boot up and Apache Spark session is there, and then we can that insert into this one, and then we can see that one what is happening with the help of display command. So let's see that one. Okay, so that command is also ran. Let's run this command, where we are going to run that select star command. We can see that whatever data we have inserted over here, we are able to see that one, right? So this is the data. I'm not going to drop that one, so we will see that one, what it is into different place, because I want to go into data section, and then I want to see more details on that one. So let's go into this Synapse primary, where we have connected that one. So if we go into if you see this one, in that when we create the table, this unmanaged table, we have given the location that okay, it is stored into data lake and cities. So where in data lake cities, what was the location? So it used that primary data lake which was connected on that one, and it is storing in the cities folder, and we can see that all this in a snappy Parquet format, the data has been stored. And The other thing also I wanted to check that one, that it created table, right? So if we go into workspace section, and if we refresh the data section, we should be able to see some more thing over there. So now there is a default database into Spark, and if we leverage that one, there is a table called cities, where if we enhance that one, there will be column which take columns we have created. And if we want to leverage more details, we can have this, we can connect with machine learning easy way, that okay, let's connect with machine learning, and it will ask that which kind of machine learning model you want to connect, either anomaly or sentiment analysis from Azure Cognitive Service. We can easily connect that one, and we can do that things from there also. And also if you want to connect and train a new model, then you can connect with machine learning workspace, and you can do all the experiment based on that one. So that is easy to connect purpose, and that is one good thing we have. If you see in the dedicated pool, we do not have much thing over there, because we have not created any tables and other things. We just played with this one right now. I'm going to create few more things over there, and we will see on that one also. So let's go back to home. Okay, so we are on the home screen, and till now we have in Knowledge Center, if we went, we have seen this browse gallery and tour of Synapse Studio. Let's go in the third option, where use Synapse. Immediately we can do, and in this one there are multiple things we can use that one, but I'm going with external table with SQL, and I'm going to do with select that existing SQL pool. We have two built-in and dedicated. I'm going to select dedicated, where it gives that option to select database also. So I'm going to generate this one, and it generates one SQL script, where all this SQL script will be there. So if we go into that details, it is going to use NYC Taxi database, and that is an open database. So it is doing the first thing, it is doing that, and it is creating a file format, and the file format is Parquet file format, and then it is going to create a data source with where the open data source is kept. And then if right now it is open, that is why we are not passing any security related information. But if we have to pass that one, then we have to create credential first, and then pass that one, and then it is creating that this sample table. And it is saying that one, this is the location on that data source, and this is the data source where top location is given, this blob storage is given, and then file format another thing is given. So let's go ahead and run this one quickly one by one, and let's see that one. Okay, and then let's go and create this one table. And then this table is created right now, external table. Let's go and run that query to see top 100 records. So when we create that external table, it just keep the metadata. When we run anything, it is going to pull out the files from this blob storage, and then it is going to impose this schema, and then we are going to see the results. So that is why it is taking time. Now we can see that we are able to query that database, that Parquet format files and other things of NYTXE, and we are able to see this one. And we have created external table on the database. So if we go into data section also, and now if we refresh this one, because we have created external table, now we are able to see this one. Using this menu also, now we can play like that. We can have a new notebook, new SQL script, create drop statement if we want to load into. So now we have created this one into our SQL pool, but we can use from notebook also in a Spark world also, right? So that is the beauty of that one, that we can do anything from that one. Right now if you see this one, This is the Spark code generated Scala code. I'm going to attach this one, and what it is doing, that it is, if you see this syntax of little bit, that spark.read.sql index, that is new syntax where it is going to read from this Spark analytics using this format, like this is the database name, this is schema name, table name, and here we are writing in df.write mode overwrite save table in this one, table 1. We can print, simply print also. Let's do the printing thing. Let's see. Okay, so our, this notebook has run successfully, and if we see that one, we are able to see the data. And if we want to go into mode nice way, we can put this display statement. So we can see the data with display statement little bit properly in a tabular format. And so if we go into this one, now we have two databases, right? One is Spark and one dedicated pool, and we can see the differences. But we have not created any dedicated pool, the database into on-demand pool. We can go back and simply we can do the same thing from knowledge center. Let's see this one. We can do that same, that where we are doing that one. This one we do not have any database into built-in pool. Let's create one database quickly. Built-in server DB we can do. Okay. So now let's use this sample on that one. I just wanted to show one thing, and that is why I am creating this one. And I'm going to change this name NYC only, NYC on demand pool, and it is going to be right now connected to built-in and that DB we have created. So let's do that one quickly. So let's go and see this on-demand pool one. We can see the data is coming, right? So that there was nothing on that one. I just wanted to display you that if we refresh this one, this portion, now we can see that okay, we have database on that on demand, we have dedicated, and we have a Spark, and that is how it is. And we can see the symbols are different, and we can the beauty is that one, in any place it is created, we can connect and we can play along with different thing. Dedicated pool and Spark is kind of, we can go ahead and see that one thing, the difference. If you see this one, that here if you see that it gives that option to load data frame, but in that dedicated this pool we do not have that one. So that one restrictions are there. That is why we have created this one. Now so if till now if we see this one, that we have went and see something on that one, this how to do that, all this explore data pool and other thing. And we have seen something into data tab also. Is this one also we have went into develop section, created some notebook SQL script, and monitor section also we have seen that how to monitor the activities what we are doing over here. We have went to manage section and done something, and if we go into link service, we have link service of that one also. So all these are present over there. Let me publish this one, and let's go and how if we have any data into our pools, SQL pools, how we can connect with SSMS, and how we can do that running the query and other things from SSMS. I don't want to stick with this studio only. We can connect from that one also. So we will see that one. Let me open my SSMS. Okay, so my SSMS is started. Let's go into our SQL pool section of managed one. Okay, so if we click on that one, we can see that connection string, and let's take that one because we have not set up any user and password from AAD. We can go for this one only, And let's go back to our Synapse one, and let's set up SQL admin password, because if you remember that one, we did not set anything over there. So let me set up something over here. When we created, we did not give anything, right? So I am doing that right now, so that I can do. We can connect with Azure AD also. We need to provision that into our Synapse that create external user from that one, and then we can connect with that one also. But for quick, I just wanted to show you that one. So let's see this one. So this is our username. Username will be that SQL admin, and username is this one, SQL admin username. And let me put the password which I given. Okay, so now it seems that we are able to connect with our on-demand pool, and if you see the connection string also, it says that okay, it is on-demand pool .sql Azure Synapse one, so that we are able to connect, and it is expanding right now. So same way till that it is coming. Okay, so it came right now, and we see that okay, we have created this DBs, right? We have created this DB and other things. So default is also coming over there in external table. If we see that is whatever we created into Spark, the metadata is there itself. So if we try to that script on that select one, let's see what happens. So this table we created into Spark, right? But because we do not have access on that one, it is not able to connect. Let's see that credential, cannot find credential for that one part. Okay, let's see this one, this table we created, this one. NYC. So from NYC, we are able to see that data is coming from SSMS also. Let's connect to different pool from this one, the dedicated pool also. Let's see this one quickly, and dedicated pool also we can try to see that. So dedicated pool, that connection string will be different. There is no on demand added in this one. If you see this one, that on demand is not added over there, and we can change this one here. And let me put once again my password here also. The same password applied to both one. So we are able to see this one dedicated on also. So if you see this one, we are able to see here. So now let's see this one. This was the different table name, because that is why I created that same NYC but with different names, so that we cannot confuse that okay, this is the that DB on that on-demand pool, this is DB on that dedicated pool. Both are separate tables, and both we can access from SSMS. So yeah, the great news that we are able to see this one also from SSMS, from dedicated pool also. Now so we have seen that when we are able to connect this all this, let's quickly go and connect Power BI desktop. Let's see that one. If I have to connect Power BI desktop, can I do that one or not? Okay, so let's go ahead, and we can go ahead and connect Power BI from here also. And if we connect the Power BI, if we search on the here Power BI, it gives that option to connect that one, and it will connect with loading all the tenant and other version of that one, workspace and other things. I do not have any workspace created in web UI version, that is why it is not coming. But if you add it from here, the new option will come here, and we can create everything from inside our Synapse Studio. We do not have to go outside. We can do rest of the operations from here. But right now I do not have connection over there, so I can go with this one right now. Let me connect with this one. So if we go for connection purpose in Azure Synapse Analytics SQL DW warehouse, we can go, and if we click on the connect, it asks for server name. Let's put the server name. Let's go for first dedicated one, and database name is optional, but let's put this dedicated name also, database name also. It is better to have. Okay, we can have import or direct query. Let's have the direct query, and then we can say that one. So now it is asking for database name. Let me put that credential on that one. Okay, so Power BI is able to connect from dedicated one, and let's see that we are able to do the data or not. So we are able to see the data. It is coming right now. It is applying everything here. Okay, so we can see some of the data which we wanted to see anything on the tabular view. Let's see that one. And it is direct query. It is going to run on that dedicated pool, and it is going to fetch required data, and this is the external table. By default it is fetching from our, whatever data lake it is connected over there. So all is happening on the real-time basis. Yeah, so you can see that one, that okay, we are able to get the data. Let's our on-demand pool. Let's try to connect with on-demand pool also. In the same way, if we go in this one, and if we put that our on-demand pool name, on-demand one, let's put the data name. What is our, let's go into data world. Let's see that built-in server DB. The name is built-in server DB, so we can do that way. Built-in server DB, and again direct query. So I can go ahead and put my username and password. Let's connect this one, and I can see that on-demand pool also here. On-demand pool, the table name we have given, and I can connect with this one, the second data source, with some included query that are sent to other one. Okay, yeah, okay, I want to build model with second data set also, so I can have that one here. Now if you see this one, we are able to connect with on-demand pool also, and we are able to connect with a dedicated pool also, similar way from here, and we can cross join or do whatever we wanted to do into this section in the Power BI feature. We can leverage the Power BI feature and do that one. So it is also fetching, updating, so we can see all the data is coming from both places, and that is one thing how to do visualization. But yeah, we can connect that one from Synapse Studio itself. You can do all these things. We can publish from here to that place in Power BI Workspace, or from Synapse also we can publish to Power BI Workspace. Now quickly I want to touch that last integrate tab also. We can do from integration from here also, the pipeline and other things, or we can go ahead and then say that in JSON purpose here, and schedule whatever I want to do. Schedule, okay, 24 hours, specify in date, what is the source type, what is the source connection. So let's see that one. I wanted to pull my Bing data source, and whatever data is there, let's pull quickly. So okay, so that one or not. Yeah, so we have this one. Let's see that when we are able to, we try to parquet this data into Parquet format. We can preview the data also from here, and we can see the schema. We can see the schema and other things. We can go quickly on that one, and what is the target? We can see that. Let's put into our dedicated one blob storage file what or we want to use here itself the new table or different with source schema. So we can do that one, auto create. Let's see that what it creates. So it will create everything. Let's see this one, and it is that name of task. Copy pandemic data. Can change this one, and that is easy, right? It is creating everything required for pipeline, and we can see that one. So it is finished, right? It is done, that one. So let's go and this one, see this one. So if we go into integrates tab, now we can see that pipeline. We have one copy data activity in this one, and we have source, and we have sync and other things. We can go into monitor tab and try to, if we run that one, we should be able to see that one. Let's run quickly from here, trigger now. So now it is triggering till that time. If we want to see that one, what other things we can do, we can integrate with Azure function, batch service, and Databricks for transformation purpose, and whatever different thing you want to do in between that we can do that. All this activity we can have data flow activity, whatever good thing we were doing with data factory for ingestion purpose, we all can do it here from we do not have to go into that one. We can connect to machine learning model, we can enrich the data, we can go into that one. So now if you see this one into pipeline runs, we can see that one when as we have this trigger. Now if we go into this one, as we created the trigger on that one, we can see the trigger also. When the trigger will be there, it will come here also, so we can see all of the things is happening right now. So so what it will do, that now it will copy that one into our pool. So let's see this one, what happens here. So right now if you see that one, that it is running right now, it is running on to Azure integration runtime WasteUS 2, and it is pulling the data is so much. This one is that one, how many reads rows has been read, and all the things it is doing right now. Let's see that one. So yeah, this is too much data, 44 MB data has been till now read. So let's see. Okay, so our pipeline has been succeeded. It says that copy activity has been succeeded. So let's see that. Let's go, and we have given that that it will come into pool. So let's go into this section and let's refresh this one, and let's see that where it is, that one we given this one. So if we go in external table, it is not able to see this one, something is here. Okay, so let's see this ones. Where is that one? So it is here into table, not external table, it is internal table. And if we want to select that one, if we want to see that data, we can go ahead and see that one, because this name we given all this. So that way we can see that how we can have pipelines, which we can have source and destination, and then we can have whatever transformation if we want to do. If we want to do some transformation on, if we want to do some notebook, then we can go and connect on that one, that piece, and run them some notebook. Or if we wanted to do some notebook from Synapse also, we can connect that way. So whatever transformation logic we want to build, that one, which kind of flow we wanted to build, all we can do from here itself. So that is what we wanted to show you in this demo. So yeah, and thank you everybody. Thank you for Microsoft also for supporting this awesome community work, and then data platform geek community and SQL Server geek community, and these people that they have given the platform for the community members to see this one. And we all can get a prize, win prize. We can post a selfie with hashtag DPS2021, and then we can give the feedback. All the people we request that provide the feedback, and also visit a sponsor and visitors, and follow the Data Geeks and Data AI Summit on the Twitter. So thank you very much.